Hey everybody, it's me, Linda. And last I did a Facebook Live. I was going into a 10-day Vipassana retreat out in Jessup, Georgia. It's about a 4.5 hour drive from Atlanta. Um, and I told you guys that I was going to be unplugged for 10 days. Uh, and I didn't know who I was going to come back as. Well, I came back and I most definitely had needed time to integrate. That's why I haven't connected with those of you that have reached out, and why I didn't get on live to share. Um, it was an amazing experience. It was really different, really different. I mean, I've been involved in other meditation practices, but uh, this one was really different because it was uh, going inward and focusing within. Uh, and the key is right up under our noses, actually. As a matter of fact, the first 3 days of meditation. All right, let me just preface with the gong. There's a gong. Somebody goes around with a gong. Gong gets hit at 4 in the morning. That's our wake up call. And we do have alarm clocks to help prompt that. And at 4:30, meditation starts, either in our individual rooms, they're private rooms with their own restroom, or we go into the meditation hall. By 5:30, though, we are expected in the meditation hall. And then we break for breakfast. And after breakfast, we have a little while to rest. And then we go back. They do give it optional, like right after lunch, to meditate again in your room. But by 2:30, you have to make it to the hall, to the meditation hall. And you meditate again until 2:30, 3:30. I don't remember exactly what time, but then you do have some rest time, and then you go to dinner, or tea time. Sorry. I'm sorry. We stop at 11 for lunch. And yeah, I fast forwarded a little too much during the day. Anyway, I could post the schedule. So overall, it's about 10 hours of meditating a day with breaks. So you're not just sitting there consecutive for like 10 hours. The longest consecutive is like 2.5 or so. Um, and so it's pretty intense. And the first 3 days, what are we doing? We're focusing on our breath, literally paying attention and being aware of the air that's going in and out of the nostril, in and out of the nostril. Amazingly enough, sometimes it's going in one nostril, other times it's going in the other nostril, other times it's going in both nostrils. I never noticed that. So hence that the key is right up under our noses. And then after the third day, and then you also start focusing on the area under, like where the breath is coming out, and picking up on the sensations. The objective is to sharpen the mind. So the first several days is that. Then it moves on to noticing sensations or any kind of sensitivity uh, within the body. And that's what I had alluded to. And I'll put a link to one of the videos that I had listened to when I first learned about it, that did entice me to try it out, because I want to be more in touch with my body and with the energy within my body. Because as you all know, I have an energy enhancement system center in Atlanta, and we are energy beings. I mean, conventional medicine acknowledges that. They're measuring the brain function, they're measuring the electrical brain function, the electrical heart's function. But in conventional medicine, it's only use for diagnosis purposes, not for therapeutic purposes. Now, the energy enhancement system creates an energy field within the room to which the body resonates and syncs. It enhances the energy in the room to where the body then resonates and synchronizes with that enhanced energy. And what I will say is that years ago, when I first embarked on this journey, I felt tingles at the back of my head when I felt connected to source. That's how I knew I was connected to source. Whenever I would have those tingles, I'm like, okay, I'm in the zone. When I went to India, there was an incident that I felt tingles going all the way down my back. And I was like, okay, this is for real. So I've been like, I am not sensitive to my body. I've always admired and was impressed, with people who, I know somebody that from a young age knew things that she shouldn't eat because they didn't sit well with her from a very young age. And I never had that. I mean, food food has always been no sensitivity there. Okay. Um, so years ago, like I said, I felt the tingles on my back. Now, since I've had the energy enhancement system, when I calm down, I do feel some tingles, but some of my clients report, like one of my clients reported, he came out and he says, yeah, I felt tingles on my wrists. And I says, well, do you have carpal tunnel or something? And he says, no, not that I knew of. He says, but look, like my wrists, I mean, I have really good range of motion. And he was really funny. He was an older man. And he was looking at his wrists. He's like, look, they're moving a lot more than they have. He says, I never realized that I had lost my range of motion. So as we age, apparently, we lose our range of motion and flexibility in a lot of things. Now, he felt tingles, and the body was obviously working on that, and his range of motion came back. So I wanted more to be more in tune with my body. And so beyond the third and fourth day, we were focusing on the sensations. First, we started with the crown to feel any sensations there, and I felt sensations and then throbbing. And that's unique to me. I don't know what everybody else, we weren't allowed to talk to each other. And then we graduated to feeling sensations and doing like an assessment, going like focusing inch by inch to, at least this is how I was doing it. I was doing the crown and I was going left and right, and then going to just little by little assessing, what are we feeling, sensing? And even if it was feeling the cloth against our collar or whatever, or our sleeve, when we were reaching those points. And I did have an experience like that. I ended up feeling different sensations, and then it was like a little explosion to where they all united, and then boom, I felt all the whole body kind of vibrating. Because like I said, we are energy beings, and with our conditioning, indoctrination, call it what you will, we've lost connection to ourselves and or to that energy field that is everywhere. It's all around us, and energy is supposed to move to us, through us, from us, unhindered. And yet within the body, when it is hindered, it's because there's something blocking it. And that's where the chakras come in. Now, they didn't talk about the chakras at all. This was a very non-denominational thing, very universal. The objective being to purify and to cleanse our body. The blockages that when I say there's blockages in the chakra system and such, they correlate with emotions. Emotions or feelings buried are alive, and they never die unless you clear them out. So emotions that are stuck, and those of you that know about chakras, they're energy centers within the body where the energy is supposed to circulate, right? And just keep going. And when you do these assessments, you may feel something. And they told us we're not judging anything. The objective is not to judge whatsoever. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's getting dark, isn't it? Maybe if I move this way, my porch light will get me better. I guess not. Sorry, guys. But the objective is to just notice, witness, observe, not judge, not judge, period. There's no good or bad sensation. And one of the biggest objectives is to acknowledge that nothing lasts forever, including us. We are actively rising to ultimately pass and pass away. So all sensations will rise and then play out and end. So it's just a matter of allowing the natural process of events to take place. And pain was addressed. And I had experienced this years ago when I first embarked upon this journey of awakening, that I was told back then that the pain we experience, only about 10% of it is actually pain. The other 90% is our reaction to the pain. So in the Vipassana thing, they say misery is accountable to craving and that which we have an aversion towards. So craving, wanting, acknowledging that everything comes and goes, comes and goes. So when you focus and stay aware of a pain, at least this is what they said, and this is what I did indeed experience myself. And that's what this was all about, is to make it an experiential thing, to get to know you, your energy field, and how energy interacts within you. When I did have a pain or an itch, there was times that, you wanted to like you scratch your nose like that because you were paying attention to the breath and stuff like that. And it was a matter of just being aware of it and just letting it subside and not be craving that it subsides, like the pain, for instance, or the itch, but just notice it, observe. That was the biggest thing, observe. It was really, really interesting. And the first few days, I have to say, a lot of times the thoughts that were coming through my mind was, Linda, what were you thinking to do this? It wasn't, it was challenging. I have to say it was challenging. And I have to say that, at the conclusion of each day, they call it a disclosure. They play a video of the man who set this program up. He studied under somebody. It's a very old Buddhist meditation, Vipassana. And the gentleman that learned it from someone who had learned it from the original lineage, he would do a disclosure and give us like a lesson at, towards the tail end of the day. And he would start off by saying, we just ended day 4, 6 more days to work. and he had an he's from India accent. But when when he said 5 days, and we have 5 days left, I was like ready to jump for joy. Halfway through it. But it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. It was I'm gonna continue this when I could change the lighting up, because I'm seeing like a total darkness thing here. I don't know. This isn't cool. So let me change up the lighting. I'll continue. All right.